In this presentation, we will continue on with the creation of our Amazon Prime course or our Amazon Prime episode, this time looking at closed captions. Closed captions are often the thing that stop many people from uploading to Amazon Prime because you have to create your own closed captions. So I call this the closed caption killer. It stops many people from uploading to Amazon Prime. Fortunately, we know the secrets to get past the booby trap of the closed caption killers without dying. Get ready for business, online business. In prior presentations, we started to create an episode for Amazon Prime. So this is the dashboard. We went then to the second tab, which is our video, or your videos tab. We created an episode as opposed to a standalone. So we're in the episode section. Then we have the season 1 that we have created, the online learning tools. That's going to be the name of our course, online learning tools. Selecting that, we then see the season below it. So I'm going to select that season. So that's the season we're working on. And then we'll put basically episodes into that particular season. Last time we filled out the catalog listing and the cast and crew. Now we're going to be moving on to the actual episodes. So we're going to be adding episodes. Now, as you add the episodes, remember that you're going to need obviously the video file in order to add the episode. And you're also going to be needing to add the closed caption. So that's the thing you want to be ready for. So if we take a look at the video content that we have here, I'm going to say, all right, this is what I got so far on the video content that I'm going to start to upload it. Now, I actually changed the name of this first one because, again, I'm going to try to avoid saying things like make money, earn revenue, things that are, sound like they could be gimmicky or clickbaity type of things, even if they're not, right? I don't try to make things like that, but Amazon might be more stringent in that type of stuff. So anything money related could be a problem. So I'm going to say, okay, online resources. Also note that if you refer to websites and whatnot, and you have the link even in your screen, they can actually read that to some degree, and they don't like having links in there as well, which is going to be a problem for this course because we're talking about, resources online, which would be references to other websites. So I'm going to put that up there and see if they accept that or not. So if I, like, for example, if I'm talking about Zoom, how to use it, then I'm going to mention their URL typically in the presentation. And that could be something that triggers their automatic filters. So just realize that makes these online resources courses a little bit more difficult. But if you're teaching something else, like if I was teaching accounting, that's not a problem for me. I'm not referring to other websites. So when any course like this, most of the courses you look at, of course, with regards to making money online is a course making money online about making money online. So they have all these problems. Well, whereas if you're making money online in something other than a course about making money online, then you have different issues. You have different pros and cons. So anyways, we're going to try to upload this one here. I'm going to adjust the title, just say online resources and see what we can do with that. Also note that I'm not going to upload like all of these at one time. Why? Because if they accept some of them, but not all of them, they will reject uploading any part of this process. So I'm not going to just try to put the whole thing in there because then I'll have to make sure that every one of these videos clears their expectations before I get anything on the platform. Whereas if I upload the minimum, which I believe is 1 to 3 or something like that, 1, 2, or 3, I'm not sure, then I can get those 3 and I can narrow those down. If they say, hey, I reject this one, because it's got stuff, it's got URLs in it, or this one, I don't like you referring to websites, then once I get to this one, I might be okay, right? And then I can go to some of these and test them out, whereas if I upload the entire thing, I won't be able to delete them. They want you to fix it, right? So just realize that you probably want to put the minimum in there first, see if you can get approval for it, and then work from there. If you can adjust your presentation to get it to be approved, make the adjustment. If you can't, then try to trim down your presentation to fit things that are going to be in accordance with the platform. Don't get mad at the platform because it doesn't do any good. You're not going to be able to contact anyone at Amazon, and no one's going to help you. No one's going to care, So just keep on, working with whatever you can. So that's what I would recommend with it. So this is the one we're going to be trying to upload here. So I'm going to say, let's take the name. I'm going to say, let's rename. And copy that, and then I'm going to say, let's add an episode. So we'll add an episode here, and then I'm going to put the title there. Now, sometimes I put like on here, I think it's more tacky to have the number here. So maybe, but sometimes I still want the number. So I'm going to cut it there, and I'm going to put it at the end, which is slightly less tacky, right? It's still not great, but less tacky. So I'll put that at the end so I can still refer to it. All right, so I'm going to put the release date 4/14. I'm going to say we will, let's say we will gain an understanding and an overview of the resources we can use to learn and work from home. And then I'm going to say that the mezzanine file, that's actually the video file. So please upload your highest quality file. If you're offering video, that will be included. Okay, so I'm going to say, all right, that's straightforward. We're just going to upload our video file. I know how to do that. I've seen that on all the other platforms. It seems the same. Not difficult. Undifficult. If that's the thing, undifficult. Seems like that should work. So then I'm going to paste the location. I'm going to pick that one up. And then I'm going to select the language. So I'm going to say, all right, language is going to be English. So we're looking for English here. And then more specifically, English, United States for me. Okay. And then the captions. So here we go. Captions are required for all title published in the US and Amazon Prime titles elsewhere. For titles, no dialogue or extended scenes with no spoken content. Okay, okay, so that's going to be that. Now, let's see how we can do that then. So we don't have, so what we've seen before is we've been able to adjust our video file into text files before, but we haven't done so in such a format that we can upload it to closed captions. But Otter, so that's OTTER.ai, so that's our website we looked at before to make text files, also has the ability to make closed caption type of files. So that's what we're going to use. I'm going to say, all right, let's go into Otter here, and then I'm going to add another one, and I'm going to say this is going to say online learning tools, and I'm going to say this is for Amazon. I'll say it's for Amazon so I can differentiate it, because I'm going to do slightly different stuff if it's for Amazon than others. And then I'm going to add an audio file. So I'm just going to import, not an audio, we're going to import our video file here. So I'm going to say let's import the video file, and I'll take 2 of these. Hopefully I don't need more than 2 to start, and then we'll continue on it. And then I'm just going to upload these, and then I'm going to see if I can format it. This software will convert it to text, and then I want to convert it into the type of text that's going to be formatted that I can then use in a closed caption type of information. So here are our files now. So now I'm going to go into this one. I'm going to go into the 105 one. So we're going to go into the 105. And so this is what we have thus far. Now, you might be saying, well, why didn't I just use the same? You could use the same kind of files that you used if you used and made text files and for this and using the same process like we talked about before for a blog or something. You can use the same files. It's just a little bit different in terms of when you might want to have a text break. You can see this one happened to upload with very few text breaks, right? It's picking that up in terms of how the audio works. So look at the text break here, doesn't seem to really make sense. It's mid-sentence. So that's what we did last time. We went and broke it up a little bit better, and that could work well. But your strategy for breaking it up for something like the closed captions might be slightly different. May not matter though. You could use the same one. So if you've already created these files for the text files, then you'd have to go back in here and just download them for the closed captions. So that would basically be here. We're going to say the 3 dots up top. Once we're in there, we want to export. Let's first take a look at it. I'm going to export as a text file, and then the type of text file we want. If we select the drop down up top, we're looking for a then SRT file. So an SRT file is the one we want, and so there we have it. So the SRT file. And see, these settings are the reason why it might be a little bit different here, what you want with regards to the text files that we looked at before, which we made breaks so that we can then put images in there and possibly help us out if we wanted to line that up to a video file. Here it has add line breaks automatically. So I'm going to automatically add line breaks and a max number of lines. I'm going to keep that at the 2 here. And then, so no more than 2 lines. So when you think of the closed captions, it's only going to have 2 lines, right? You got 1 to 2 lines on the closed captions. And then the max characters per line, I currently have 32. I think that's the default. It might not be, but I would keep basically the default that it has. So when you imagine the closed captions, obviously there's 1 to 2 lines of it. It's not going to be a whole page of closed captions over the video. That wouldn't make sense. And then it's got to limit the number of characters. It's got to know how many characters to limit. And this is doing that for us. So before I finish this, I'm going to close this back up. If that's the case, if it's going to do that for us, then maybe we want just a whole brick of text, what might be the easiest thing to do. In other words, if I have breaks in it, then that's gonna adjust where the breaks are gonna happen. So in other words, if the last time when we broke everything up into smaller chunks, that just might make some of the closed captions be smaller, right? It probably won't matter, that'd be fine. But if you just have one brick of text, it'll break it out wherever it thinks best to break it out with 32 characters and not more than 2 lines. So let's go ahead and edit this for this type of process. I'm going to say, all right, let's go down and say, I'm just going to get rid of all the breaks. That break there doesn't make any sense. So I'm going to remove that break and then hit a space and see if there's any other breaks. I'm going to remove this one. That one doesn't seem to make any sense. So I'm going to remove that, hit space. And then this one again, right in the middle of the, well, I don't know if I'm just like stopping mid-sentence and it just says, hey, they need a new paragraph right there because he seemed to stop in the middle of the sentence. This one at least had an uppercase letter. So now I've got a solid brick of text. Now let's take a look at what it does with this solid brick of text here. We're going to say, all right, now let's try it. I'm going to hit this. I'm going to say export to a text file. I want to make it an SRT file. That's going to be the closed caption type file that we want. And then I'm going to continue on that. And here it is. So I'm going to open this up. It opens up in like a notepad, I think that is, type of file. It looks like a notepad. So I'm opening it up with Notepad, which obviously is typically a free program that you will have. So you can see it has the timestamp up top. Here's the text, no more than 2 lines that are going to be lining up to that timestamp. And you're going to need this kind of coding that's in it. So it just took the text, broke it out 32 characters, no more than 2 lines, and then put in all the timestamps that are involved there. And if you have the exact same video file, this should all line up perfectly. It should all work. So, I didn't think it would before, but it has worked. I've done this multiple times. So now you can save this, and this will be your closed caption file. So we'll put that up top here. I'm gonna save this in the closed captions here. You can see it's saved basically as a text file there. I'm gonna go ahead and save it. So I'm gonna save it. Now here it is. Now you can see if I rename it, just to look at the name, I'm going to say, okay, rename. And for some reason, it put the extension of the SRT, which is the file type that I want, and then a .txt, which I don't want. And I think because I saved it as an SRT file, I can delete this extension, which is, so I think I'm going to delete that extension and just have it as an SRT file. I think that will work here. So I'm going to try to save that and say, okay, yes, please. And there it is. So that looks like the proper type of file. So if I was to open that up, let's see if it opens. So that looks right. So this looks like an SRT file. Okay, so now let's take this and go ahead and upload that to our course. So I'm going to go back on over here to Amazon Prime. And we're going to say, let's go ahead and open up in our closed captions. So we're going to say browse. We're going to be picking up the closed captions, which are now, I can go back here and I'm going to go into, I put them into this closed caption folder. And there it is. There's our file we just made. So I'm going to upload that. So there we have it. Now the frame rate, I believe I've been putting 24 FPS, and here's English. I believe I've been putting that at 24. So you might want to, do a little bit more research on what the best frame rate is, but I think I've been doing that one. So that's that. And then we have an optional item over here, the image display on this season detail. So this one is the 4:3 ratio. So, and this is, I think, is like a background type of image. So I could put the same 4:3 one, but I'd want to change to not have any text on it, I believe. So if I was, and it's optional, you don't have to do this, but notice again, they put another one in here, which is a little bit different type of file. So I could go back over and say, well, if I want that, if I want to include that to be more fancy, Then I can go to the overview here. I'm going to go to Amazon, and I made this one 4x3, but it has words in it. So I'm going to take that one. I'm going to copy the slide, and then I'm going to remove the text. So I'm going to say, all right, let's just take this one, and I'm gonna say I want that slide, but I want to remove the text. Let's say, because I think this is going to be like kind of hovering in the background, so we actually don't want the text on this one. So I'm pretty sure. And then I'm going to go to the File tab, Save, and I actually want to put this into that folder. So Amazon, let's save it there, and I want to save it as a JPEG file. So I'll save it as a JPEG. So there's the 4x3. And I'll call this the background image. So 4x3 background. I'm not sure that's spelled right. And just this one. So there we have it. So then I'm going to close this, and I'll save that, and then I'll minimize this, and then we'll go back in here and see if we can find that now. So I'm going to browse, see if we can add that image. So we'll pull this up and say we're going to go back to the working files. We want to go down to the, where did I put it? I put it in like the PowerPoints, I think. No, that's not where I put it. I put it into the overview section, clearly. That's where it would go. Where else would it go? So then I'm going to put that image there. Okay, so now here's the moment of truth. We're going to go ahead and add it. I'm not going to add another episode because I want to save it one at a time. So I'm going to say, all right, let's save this. So now I have the bar trying to save it here. And again, you could add more than one episode, and your first instinct will probably be like, I know how to do this. I'm just going to do them all at once because I'll specialize my tasks and do them all at once. But I recommend not doing that because if there's some problem with it, then you can't really delete it becomes a little bit more difficult. So I would do it one at a time, at least when you're starting out. Then once you get good at it, maybe you can do more than that. And go from there. Okay, so there it is. So it looks like that has been uploaded. Now what I'm going to do, I think you may only need one video to publish it, but I think there was at a time between 1 and 3 videos as a minimum to publish it. So whatever the minimum is, I would do that and try to publish it. Once published, then go back in and keep on adding more content. That's what I would take. So then on the availability, I check basically the default. So I'm going to say I want to have the Prime, fine. Buy an episode, fine. I don't want to buy a season because that kind of messes up the other options, and it messes up my ability to add to it. And my strategy is here to just try to get this thing up and running and then be able to add to it. So then I'm going to say which pricing model. I'm just going to choose the default preset pricing. I'm not going to go to the custom pricing, so I'll go with what they recommend here because I'm not advanced enough to know any better to choose a better pricing option, and you might want to do more research on that than I have on it and check it out, but that's what I got here. Best for balancing costs with wide audience. So United States and the UK, those are obviously the English speaking areas. Value, best for older or back catalog videos. So I'm going to say, all right, let's just keep it at that. Let's say save. And now it looks like we've cleared everything to actually publish it. So it looks like, so again, we've got all this done. It says we can publish it. And again, just note that I'm publishing it with only one episode. And like I say, I recommend doing that because it'll probably get kicked back. And the more episodes you have in there, it'll get kicked back a few times. And then you just update it. You just, do whatever you can to update. But it's more difficult to update 30 videos that have been kicked back for some reason than 1 or 2. And if you can't get 30 videos, all of them up to par, it won't upload any of them. Whereas if you upload one at a time, then at least you got one at a time rolling forward, and then you can add to that as you go. So I would get on the board first, get on the board with one, and then continue and push forward with there. Then you can maybe try 2 or 3 after that, after they've already got you on the board. So I'm going to say publish that. And it says ready to publish. If there are no errors in your submission, of course there's no errors. Anyways, your title will go live within 2 to 4 business days. If you have set a future date for title availability, your video will become available on the date specified. If you make additional changes to your title, you'll need to publish again, which we plan to do after it's published once, and the 2 to 4 business day timeline will start over. All right, so we're going to say publish. It says your title has been submitted for publishing, track the status here, and then questions and answers, and then we can go back. So then I'm going to go back over here. And again, I wouldn't then try to touch it until they get back to me, which could take, I mean, they say 4 days, like it's been longer sometimes, but whatever. So then if you go back over, what you can do, however, is if you have a completely different course, you might try the same thing with another course. Do what you know, add one video, publish it, see what happens. And then what'll happen is they'll just keep kicking it back with these whatever problems they have. And then you'll just go back in there and fix the problem, and then just keep on pushing forward with whatever course is there. It's more time consuming to do this platform than any other that way, because they're more picky than most other platforms. But if you do it that way, not too bad. You can get your stuff up there.